I think we're live. Thumbs up in chat if you can hear me. Really Baked is joining us. Really Baked, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Yay! I think we're working. About ready to kick this off. Thanks everybody for coming out. This is our beta test of VPINHUB against humanity. Oh, Marty's going to join us. I need to send Marty a link.
Amazing.
Get this kicked off. So, who will be horrible people tonight? I think all of us will be horrible people, and I don't know that we have a choice.
I'll try my best.
So, if you're unfamiliar with Cards Against Humanity, this essentially you are received a prompt card to answer a question, fill in the blank like apple to apples in your hand that only you can see on your screen. Will be response cards. Your job is to pick the dirtiest, nastiest, or most hilarious response, and whoever is determined to be the card czar will pick the best one, and points are awarded. We can have up to 10 players. I'm going to start the game just a moment. You can see the link on screen, but you can join our game tonight by going to the link in chat. How you set your name is in the top right-hand corner of your browser. As I'm clicking in the wrong window, I'm clicking the... So right here is where you'll set your name. I've set mine to Paladin. Now I'm going to kick us off by creating a game. Call it the live on air game because we're live on air. So now when you visit the page, hey, we already got players. I see Really Baked, Dr. Doobie, Luca. We're off to the races. You guys got this down. I don't even need to explain it. All right. So there's intentionally no timer. I designed this game with the stream in mind, as well as if I was playing at a physical pinball tournament, that you could play it in between rounds. And I didn't want a timer to kick people when you're playing pinball because you get the idea. I didn't want to just kick everybody out from the round. So I am the card czar. First prompt is blank. Kid tested, Jack Danger approved. On your screen, you should have a selection of cards. When everybody has selected, I will get to see them and I will get to choose since I am the card czar for this round. Just like when you play a physical card game, the selections in your hand are there. Once you play one, you're going to keep the others until the game is over. Next round, you've used them up. So if you got a bad hand, I apologize. It is the luck of the draw. All right. Kid tested, Jack Danger approved. We have consensual draining, kid tested, Jack Danger approved. Getting so angry that you pop a boner, kid tested, Jack Danger approved. Pinball games featuring Tim Curry, kid tested, Jack Danger approved. 3 more code updates, kid tested, Jack Danger approved. Hollywood Heat, kid tested, Jack Danger approved. I got to give it up for consensual draining. Really Baked, you have won the first round. So now everybody needs to click ready, and then it will auto start the next round. UI suggestion, change one's name. You should be able to change your name up at the top at any point in time. If you're playing on a phone and you don't see this box, you have a 3-bar hamburger button. If you click the 3 button, it should give you this prompt. Gramps just got back from the home from the retirement party. How'd it go, Gramps? Congratulations again. All right. The true meaning of life can be found in the satisfying click of... This is a tough one. I know what I'm picking. I went with sexy custom drop targets. They gave you a pinball table, Gramps? What pinball table did you get? All right, Dr. Doobie won
NFL.
with
That's sweet.
sexy spinner ribs. The true meaning of life can be found in the satisfying click of sexy spinner ribs. I like it. You almost bought NFL instead of Joker Poker. That's awesome. You'll have to post some pictures for us, Gramps, when you get it home. Surreal, hello. Your name is not updating. Try and give it a refresh of the page. But we're gonna find bugs. Which reminds me, Marty said he wanted to join us because he was running late, and I never sent him the invite link. So I'm going to do that now. Maybe. Awkward silence. Sorry. All right. Next round. Step 1, blank. Step 2, blank. Step 3, profit. So this is a select 2. So you have 2 select buttons. The top select button is going to be the first blank. The bottom select will place it in the second. Gramps, you're totally out of room. Does that mean something has to leave? That would be terrible. Oh, we're waiting for selections.
Buy a bigger house.
Buy a bigger house. Yes, because that's a good retirement plan.
Real estate's a good investment these days, no?
Mr. Pendragon, thank you so much for the tier 1. While we're waiting for the card czar to pick our winner, I went with step 1, the chronic. Step 2, pulling out. Step 3, profit. Oh, you have room for one more. Hey, I am your winner with step 1, the chronic. Step 2, pulling out. Step 3, profit. Really baked with step 1, crucifixion. Step 2, the brief moment of zen during multi-ball. I'm going to assume it's surreal. We'll see. But I have 2 anonymous. Vigilante justice, step 1. Step 2, dead babies. Step 3, profit. Luca, step 1, a surprisingly sensual nudge. Step 2, trying to explain pinball strategy using only grunts and gestures. Step 3, profit. Seymour, step 1, trying subtly to subtly influence the ball with your mind. Step 2, my inner demons. Step 3, profit. And step 1, grandma. Step 2, full frontal back glass nudity. Step 3, profit.
Yikes.
I had the wrong anonymous. Mr. Pendragon, you can
click the link.
You can go to this link in chat. You should be able to join the active game. We've had some people have issues setting their name. So before you click join game, set your name in this box up here in the top right-hand corner.
You nailed right away which one was surreal, so I don't think anybody's confused about the names.
Well, he said he was 124.97, so he was the last one. I need to stop scrolling up and down because I'm going to make people dizzy. Grandma was my contribution. So somewhere, oh, there we go. Next prompt, what's that smell? Hmm. I've made my selection. I went with the limp plunger. What do you got baked?
Mine was a micro pig wearing a tiny raincoat and booties.
Barfs into the trash bag that Clem Fandango is in. Hope everybody's having a fabulous Friday night. Thanks for coming to help me test this. My goal is to improve upon it. This is more just to make sure that it works. Waiting for the card czar to pick the winner. If you are the card czar, you should now have selections. I think so, Dr. Doobie. We definitely need to look at the name set. All right, here we go. What's that smell? A limp plunger. What's that smell? A micro pig wearing a tiny raincoat and booties. What's that smell? Hot cheese. Steve Bowden. John Trudeau's browser history. Who made that card? What's that smell? A profound sense of connection with a purely mechanical being, and surreal with hospice care. Yes, Gramps, it is baked. And why is it not winner selected? Seymour was the winner with John Trudeau's browser history. Mr. J, this is all JavaScript and just a standard bootstrap. No worries, Mr. Pendragon. I never truly understood blank until I encountered blank. Hmm. Probably going to regret this, but I'm going with the violation of our most basic human rights and chunks of exploded drop targets.
Nice. I never truly understood Mark Ritchie until I encountered authentic Mexican cuisine.
I like it. So I am going back and forth on if I should have some sort of timer, but it's like, do I make it? If I make it too fast, who am I kicking out of the game? I don't know. I need to have something here. What's this means? You're the card czar. So if you are the card czar, that means once everybody has selected their prompts, your page will automatically change. Um, you will see all of the people's answers, and you pick the winner. If you do, it needs to be on the scale of minutes. I agree, Surreal. I don't know if you're here at the beginning. Part of my intent with this is I wanted to play this at real pinball tournaments where it might be 20 minutes before everybody answers around, depending if you're playing or not. And so I was really hesitant. All right. I never truly understood the violation of our most basic human rights until I encountered chunks of exploded drop targets. I never truly understood Mark Ritchie until I encountered authentic Mexican cuisine. I never truly understood letting people believe you're rich when you're really just fiscally irresponsible until I encountered $5 footlongs. And the winner, which I think is Arthur. Nope, that's the other anonymous winner. I never truly understood my sex life until I encountered Bally's Judge Dredd. Ooh. Seymour, I never truly understood "vuck me, vuck you" until I encountered John Board. That is the most true
Nice.
statement I have ever read, especially this week while we're playing X-Men. And Surreal with I never truly understood Viagra until I encountered a tribe of warrior women. Death by Snoo Snoo. Surreal says you might consider starting a timer after, say, 60% of the answers are in, something like that, that can keep the game going, but still mostly fair. I like that idea, Surreal. At this stage, I'm just happy that it seems to be working. I've been, I don't know, been a couple months I've been working on this, right, Baked?
Feels like it's been a hot minute now, yeah. Since the beginning of the year, so I'd say that's pretty close, yeah.
Just trying to remember who. Oh, one of our anonymous was the winner. So if I go down here, should show the history of round winners, and I need to. It shows my score, but I need to make a scoreboard for every player's score. Next round is live. What are my parents hiding from me? Oh, Surreal. I didn't take it as picking on it, and I will take any and all feedback. All right. What are my parents hiding from me? I'm going to go with brain tumor.
A solid choice. I went with a mating display.
My my end goal is, since I have the skeletons working, I want to work on some animations of like cards flipping and make it look more like an actual card game. But some of that is beyond me because I'm mostly a back end developer. So at some point, I'll be taking volunteers. Once this is done, I'm going to take a shower that will involve at least 20 minutes of nonstop scrubbing with a Brillo pad. All right, Dr. Doobie with what are my parents hiding from
Ben
me?
wants
My
Bob's Burgers
vagina.
pinball.
What are my parents hiding from me? Natural score enhancement. Luca, what are my parents hiding from me? Queefing. Mr. Pendragon, the silent judgment of the high score initials ass. Oh, no, Mr. Pendragon is at the bottom. So we either have two players or I had the wrong announcement. Or uh, what are my parents hiding from me? Half-assed ball one. Ben wants Bob's Burgers. Well, it's a surprisingly non-pinball tonight, Ben. We were playing Cards Against Humanity. You're welcome to join us. Sorry, Cards Against VPINHUB.
It's pinball adjacent.
All right, next round is live. That's right, I killed blank. How, you ask? Blank. Hmm. Make this work. I went with, that's right, I killed Vikings. How, you ask? The sticky residue of forgotten dreams and spilled soda.
I went with,
Surreal as the cards are.
that's right, I killed Project Pinball. How, you ask? Passive aggression.
Well played. Sometime in the near future, I will pass around a Google Sheet so people can submit cards for me to add to the game. Right now, there's the standard base cards, and then I've added about 800 pinball cards that were primarily written by myself, Baked, and Pirate. All right, Dr. Doobie, that's right. I killed Elwyn's Godzilla. How, you ask? Getting really high. Anonymous, that's right. I killed the devil himself. How, you ask? Taking off your shirt. I killed, Lucas says, I killed Ghostbusters LE. How, you ask? A fanny pack of quarters and lip gloss. That's right. I killed the terrorists. How, you ask? Bitches. Bitches would do it. And that was our winner. Mr. Pendragon, that's right. I killed Hope. How do you ask? A single defiant booyah after a lucky bounce. That was a hard one. I don't know which one I would have picked. There's got to be a card about Paul's catalytic converter. Which one? I've lost two. My next car is going to be lower to the ground. Should have put the winner on top. I am seeing that now, Lynn. I will be shuffling that. All right, next round is live. Lifetime presents blank, the story of blank. I went with Lifetime presents a greasy joystick stained hand, the story of scrubbing the under the folds.
It says that I selected a card, but it doesn't show me what they are. It's a mystery.
It's a mystery. Well, hopefully we see in a minute. It says everyone's selected. Who is the card czar? Lynn says, "Oh gods, I'm going to hell. Who's driving the bus there?" Me. And I'm okay with that. It's all for a good time. That's a good point, Surreal. Surreal pointed out you can fix your name by changing the end of the URL in the browser. This is true because only the session ID matters. Cool. So Lynn is fixed. Do we know who our card czar is? Or do we not have one? Because if we ran into
Not
a
me.
bug, we may
I
need
wonder
to
though if maybe it's broken because my cards say Lifetime presents blank, the story of blank, but it says that I've picked cards. So I wonder if it might be stuck.
Give it a refresh, see what happens. Because maybe you're supposed to be the card czar. Ping, greetings. Did we get our first breakage of the night?
It's very possible.
All right, I'm going to regret this. I'm going to click refresh.
The round progress bar keeps going down like something's happening.
I noticed something is out of kilter. All right, those playing at home, give your browser a refresh and see if we can kick it in the pants. Otherwise, I might have to start another game, which would be sad. But this is why we're testing. Now I get to go through that sexy log data and see where it went wrong. It's part of why I limited it to 10 players.
Well, the card czar is definitely not me.
Yeah. We lost our card czar. Ah. So I do have the round winners displayed, but they are at the bottom. All right. I'm giving one more refresh. That doesn't kick it in the butt. Sadly, I'm going to kick everybody out and we're going to play another game. Must have been surreal. I don't know. I don't think it was any one person. It's probably my poor coding skills. There's likely a scenario here. Your player ID didn't change. All right. Sorry, guys. We are going to sledgehammer this one and we're going to start a new game. So I look through the logs. All the heartbeats look good. All right, going down. So we're all going to need to go back to the main screen and we're going to start it again. Changing the name may have impacted, but I don't think so, unless it thought it was another player. All right. Going to visit the. It might be a good idea to have a timeout if everyone is finished, just in case the czar has pieced out. Yes. I am agreeing with you. All right. So I'm going to set my name, create a game. We're just going to call this one live because I don't want it to get confused with our previous game, even though I should have killed it out. So that game is now there. When you go to the page, all right, Surreal is in, Really Baked is in, Luca is in, Lynn is in. And I am the card czar. So prompt 1, what never fails to liven up the party? Yep, this is why we test by beating on it with the dead blow mallet. You're exactly that's the idea tonight. I expected something to break, and then we'll go through that sexy data later and figure it out.
I mean, it did take half an hour, so that's impressive.
That's true. I was hoping we'd make it through one game without a crash or a weirdness, though. Data.
What's the definition of a game? Do you have it set for a certain number of rounds or a certain number of points, or
a certain number of points? I believe it's the first player to reach 5 points, I believe. I went back and forth. I tried it with number of rounds and I tried it with points. And when I did number of rounds, we had too many ties.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. What never fails to liven up the party?
Elwyn's Godzilla.
Wearing underwear inside out to avoid doing laundry. Elwyn's Godzilla. Pedophiles. Porn stars. Switching to Geico. Breaking out into song and dance. Sweet, sweet vengeance. And catapults. This is hard. This is really hard.
Tough choices.
It is. And this is, people are going to turn the other way, but I'm going with catapults because I want to see a catapult at a party. Justin Bader is our winner with catapults.
Would be a lively party, wouldn't it?
It would be a lively party. I need to come up with a better way for the person that's broadcasting the game to display it as well, other than what I'm doing now, which is just showing my screen. I did originally actually write a client for this that you would install on your desktop, and I didn't see any benefit to it in the end. Plus, since I used Bootstrap, it's working pretty well on mobile, minus some weirdness around setting the name. All right, so we're still at waiting for next round. So I'm guessing some people still need to ready up, or we had another crash. If your screen changes and mine doesn't, please let me know. You see 2 people waiting. So Pinball Gramps, you need to click the blue ready button at the bottom of the screen. You might have to scroll down a little bit. I think everybody else is ready. No need to apologize, Mr. Pendragon. This is testing. Excellent question, Cyril. Cyril, if you were late, Gramps had his retirement party today, and his former office mates gifted him a pinball machine. I think it was a Stern NFL. Agreed. We do probably need a timeout period. So Gramps is full. He cannot fit another pinball machine in his basement.
It's a terrible problem to have.
It is. I have some holes in my lineup at the moment since The Walking Dead left, and I miss it. It's going to be a project with the kids. Gramps, if you have your browser open, you need to click the blue ready button. If you don't see it, let me know, and I can try and force you out. But it won't go forward until everyone clicks ready.
Is it really still your office when you're retired, though?
I don't know. I think I'll still have an office. I'll still be writing stuff like this. So Gramps exited. So I'm going to try and refresh and see if it just kicks it forward. So when I refresh, I get the ready again. All right. Did that kick us forward?
Yeah, looks like it did for me anyway.
Okay. Instead of Netflix and chill, my ideal date involves blank and blank. I'm going with a sexy in-disc finals montage. Ooh. It's a hard choice.
Instead of Netflix and chill, my ideal date involves sexy skill shots and the chronic.
I'm sorry, Lynn. I had to include a certain card. Graham says, I was also waiting until I retired so that I could devote uninterrupted time to it. The last day was Monday. We need another one in there. Paul Siegel. Yeah, maybe. All right. Looks like all the cards are selected. So I think we are down to the cards are. Gramps is probably the cards are, isn't he?
I can confirm it's not me.
I will show you when the button comes up. So you select a card, and then we wait until the card czar, who's the pinner that or person that picks the winner, picks, and then you'll get a blue ready button to move to the next round. In your case, the winner was selected, and then we all needed to click ready to advance, and it was showing that you didn't click ready. And let me toggle over. I'm willing to bet that it selected Gramps as the card czar because he's probably still has a session ID in the game.
Willing to bet that you're probably right about that.
Apologies. I'm scrolling through the logs. All right. Game 3. Here we go. I'm kicking it. Maybe.
Third time's a charm.
Third time's the charm. We'll get through one game. I promise.
We still got plenty of time till Double Dragon. Been excited
excited
about that all week.
Same.
Yeah, you should. He's been on an awfully long car ride now, it seems like.
All right, I got a game up. You can join us here at the link posted in chat. I am the card czar. Round 1 is Why Am I Sticky? So what I've learned tonight is I put lots of thought and logic into when people join mid-game. I did not put enough into when people disappear.
Yeah, I think knowing who the card czar is makes it helpful because then you would know if it's selected somebody and that person is gone and something is broken, or if it's an active person that's here.
I like Mike Roch. Mike Roch has joined the game.
Nice. The unfilteredness of the names is top notch.
Handling people disappearing is arguably more important than handling people joining mid-game. Probably true, Lynn. All right, why am I sticky? Bally's Centaur. Pulling out. John Papaduke. The sweet smell of burnt rubber and regret. Emotions. Not wearing pants. Bo and Karen's. Balls, balls, balls. And Britney Spears at 55.
Oof, tough choices.
I gotta give it to balls, 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 since that's a quote from my wife. All right, Gramps, if you're still watching, so at the end of the round, we all get this blue ready button, and we all have to ready for it to move to the next round. Those weren't my choices except for, oh, that's right, Luca. So changing the name and the URL reshuffles the cards. I think when you're changing the name, I think it's adding a new player, so we may run into another issue. We shall see.
This way you'll know for sure.
That's true. Luca asked, what are the odds to get some cards I used in the last round? So just like the card game, when you're dealt those cards, they stick with you until we play them or the game is over. So that's why you're seeing the duplicate choices. It's weird because you're playing it in a browser, so it feels like it should be random, but the intent is you're dealt. All right, Gremmy, it says you're still reviewing results. So Gremmy, if you're out there, hopefully you have a ready button. If not, we might have a problem. Oh, there we go. What's the worst way to celebrate a high score? Who's my note keeper? Mustache is spelled wrong for Roger Sharp's mustache. This is the problem when you're writing cards late at night or doing a lot of copy paste. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with an erection that lasts longer than 4 hours.
I went with waking up half naked in a Denny's parking lot during your buy round.
Hmm. I think I need to make a note so that the game owner knows who the cards are is.
Well, when you play Cards Against Humanity with real people, does everybody not know who the cards are is in the game anyway? Like, it's not a secret thing, is it?
No, it's not. It's just not something I thought about, I guess. All
And
right.
that's what the testing is for.
Exactly. All right. What's the worst way to celebrate a high score? An erection that lasts longer than 4 hours? Being on fire? My sex life? Waking up half naked in a Denny's parking lot during your buy round? A snapping turtle biting the tip of your plunger? Ooh. And winner, a tournament director having a stroke. Accidentally tilting by breaking wind? Been there. The violation of our most basic human rights and crystal meth. All right, ready up. Another interesting bug. Once you change name, the points scored by anonymous will not move over to the new username. This is true. All right. I see. Starting to debate, is Surreal's name Surreal is not, or is it? So I'm trying to think of
Well,
when I
it
would have.
says Surreal is not ready for the next round, you know?
Yes.
Hmm. Interesting.
And it looks
It could
like
be.
Pinball Gramps, it still says, is reviewing results.
I know,
There we
but
go.
then he was also just, oh yeah, there we go. Perfect.
I never truly understood blank until I encountered blank.
I never truly understood assless chaps until I encountered Elvira.
Ooh. I never truly understood the dance of the stuck ball until I encountered Roger Sharp's mustache, because apparently mustache was spelled wrong.
Nice.
All right, looks like Gramps is selecting the winner. So Gramps is going to be the card czar. Can you tell I'm changing stuff on the fly while we do this and hoping? Agreed, Lynn. I should move the ready button up toward the top. Surreal is not is throwing me though.
That's the plan.
I hit ready without thinking about it. Who was our winner? The winner was licking things to claim them as your own until I encountered pinball games featuring Tim Curry. Lynn in Denver, the crushing disappointment of a house ball until I encountered getting drunk on glass cleaner. I never truly understood leprosy until I encountered a foul mouth. I never understood licking things to claim them as your own until I encountered pinball games featuring Tim Curry. So, duplicate card, that's a good one to know. I never truly understood deodorant until I encountered a disappointing game release party. I never truly understood the distinct aroma of arcade carpet until I encountered Valley's Twilight Zone. I never truly understood the American dream until I encountered Steve Ritchie talking dirty.
I almost didn't want to waste both of those cards together.
I feel you. I've had that problem a few times. All right, next round is live. Third time's the charm. When I was tripping on acid, blank turned into blank. I went with when I was tripping on acid, half-assed ball one turned into the intense concentration of Keith Elwin during
N-
Indisc.
Nice. I had when tripping on acid, backglass art with tasteful side boob turned into men.
Grammy says acid is delicious. All right, Dr. Doobie is our card czar. Randy Elwin turned into the guy who understands IFPA points. All right, here we go. Baked was our winner with When I Was Tripping on Acid, backglass art with tasteful side boob turned into men. Lynn in Denver, When I Was Tripping on Acid, league rage turned into chunks of exploded drop targets. Completely fair. When I Was Tripping on Acid, destroying the shooter rod turned into the one mode you don't understand. Mike Roch, when I was tripping on acid, the silent judgment of the high score initials ass turned into explaining to your kids why you're spending all their quarters. Luca, when I was tripping on acid, children on leashes turned into used pop bumpers covered in beer. Mr. Pendragon, as he said, Randy Elwin turned into the one guy who actually understands how IFPA points work. When I was tripping on acid, Hot Nudge turned into a greasy joystick stained hand. When I was tripping on acid, William's fishtails turned into the entire Mormon Tabernacle Choir. All right. Pinball Gramps is reviewing results. And Luca is reviewing results. So once you guys ready up, it should move to the next round. I hope. There we go. In a world ravaged by blank, our only solace is blank. No worries, Luca. Hmm. Don't want to play this card, but I feel like this card needs to go away. So we're going to play it. And I'm going to do 3 Hail Marys later. I went with in a world ravaged by the token minority, our only solace is sexy skill shots. Lynn says, I feel so dirty, and it's the kind that's you walking in on your parents doing it. I feel a different type of dirty, mostly shame. Hot.
That was tough.
Oh, you were the card czar?
I was.
All right. Lynn says, in a world ravaged by crippling debt, our only solace is the art of multipliers. Gramps, in a world ravaged by the Make a Wish Foundation, our only solace is rage tilt disqualification. In a world ravaged by unfathomable stupidity, our only solace is natural selection. Doobie, you got my vote. Mike Roch, in a world ravaged by porn stars, our only solace is the urge to yell, come on, you bitch. Luca, in a world ravaged by high power mech amputations, our only solace is the man who saved the game. Celine, hello. In a world ravaged by passive aggression, our only solace is Pac Man uncontrollably guzzling balls. Balls, balls, balls. In a world ravaged by grandma, our only solace is scrubbing under the folds. And Surreal, the winner, in a world ravaged by wet dreams, our only solace is the Care Bear stare.
Grammy was a close second for me. That was a tough choice.
Truth. They were all pretty good except for mine. Mine was just wrong, but I wanted to get that card out of my hand. I might get that card out of the deck, but that is an official Cards Against Humanity card. Celia, I'm glad your head stopped trying to explode. I hope you're having a better Friday evening now. Next round. Tilt. What is it good for?
It's good for growing a pair.
This is hard, but I'm going with it. I'm going with Tilt. What is it good for? Pinball designers who aren't good at math. It's okay to curate. Lynn, I've taken out so many cards that made me uncomfortable, but with 5,000 cards, it's hard to check them all. Faint glimmer of ball 3 magic. All right, Tilt. What is it good for? Me time. Nice, Lynn. Gramps. What is it good for? Copping a feel. I mean, I guess, yes, that's how you get there. 2 dangers. What is it good for? Stranger danger. What is it good for? Growing a pair. What is it good for? Giving 110%. Also true. Winner, Mr. Pendragon. What is it good for? The faint glimmer of hope for ball 3 magic. Gremmy, what is it good for? A surprisingly sensual nudge. Surreal is not ready. What is it good for? The unexpected joy of a mystery award before you tilt. Discomfort is part of the fun. Well, I'm still sorry to hear that, Celine. Migraines and headaches are no fun. All right. If pinball machines could talk, the first thing they'd say is, hmm, I think this is the only time I'm okay playing the card pedophiles. I mean, think about it. Everybody has their hands all over them, and I mean, Dungeons and Dragons isn't even a year old.
It's true. I went with if pinball machines could talk, the first thing they'd say is, you must construct additional pylons.
All right, Luca San Diego is our card czar. So let's see what Luca says. None of mine makes sense, so it goes. Sometimes that's the luck of the draw, Surreal. All right, if pinball machine, oh, that's mine. Lynn in Denver, if pinball machines could talk, the first thing they'd say is Jewish fraternities. Gramps, if pinball machines could talk, the first thing they'd say is Total Nuclear Annihilation by Scott Denisi. Dr. Doobie, if pinball machines could talk, the first thing they'd say is Screaming, damn you, Barry Ausler. That's fair. Mike Roch, the first thing they'd say is free samples. Mr. Pendragon, the first thing they'd say is sexy custom drop targets. Gremmy, if pinball machines could talk, the first thing they'd say is the intense focus etched on a pinball player's face. And Winner, if pinball machines could talk, the first thing they'd say is the one magnet that ruins your life. Playfield scratches. All right, next round is live. My therapist says my pinball obsession is a metaphor for blank. Hollywood, how are you? I had pizza for dinner. Hmm. I'm going with The Hustle.
Oh,
I'm up
my
to 30 minutes.
my therapist says my pinball obsession is a metaphor for the taint, the grundle, the fleshy fun bridge. I don't know where that card came from, but it needs to go back there.
It was an expansion. And I don't mean the taint. Lynn says, I'm up to 30 minutes of nonstop scrubbing following this game. Hollywood says, good to see you. I'm sad you're not playing Jackbox Jackbox, Shredder's Revenge, or Golf with Friends right now. All excellent games. But I'm hoping to eventually make this an excellent game. We'll see. It's going to be a while. All right.
I don't
Lynn,
get to use the word taint or grundle or fleshy fun bridge in any of those games, so I'm going to stick with this for tonight, I think.
fair. My therapist says my pinball obsession is a metaphor for hope. Gramps. My therapist says my pinball obsession is a metaphor for the brief moment of zen during a multi-ball. Dr. Doobie, pinball obsession is a metaphor, advice from a wise old hippie. We covered the taint, the grundle, the fleshy fun bridge. Mike Roch says, my therapist says my pinball obsession is a metaphor for $1 trillion. Luca, my therapist says my pinball obsession is a metaphor for I'm not rich, I'm financially irresponsible.
I like that.
Me too. Gremmy, my pinball obsession is a metaphor for fear itself. And Winner, surreal is not. My therapist says my pinball obsession is a metaphor for the inevitable heat death of the universe. Well played. I like that round. And yet, all right, next round. We got to oh, well, it's a different game, so that makes sense. What's that smell?
It's a live studio audience.
I'm going with Sweet Sweet Vengeance. Gremmy has no cards. Is Gremmy the card czar? Gremmy is the card czar. So, Gremmy, once everyone is selected, you will get to pick the winner of this round. Surreal says, my wife made rice bowls with chicken, spinach, black lentils, and some veggies. Good stuff. That sounds great.
Oh yeah, we're doing the what's for dinner. I had flatbread pizza.
Ooh. I also had pizza, but mine was just Little Caesars. I'll let my dog pick just to not piss anyone off. You won't piss anyone off. It's good to be in charge every now and then.
How exactly is your dog gonna pick? Does he bark the answers out to you?
So, Gramps, they should be the same -1 because your choices are the equivalent of cards that were dealt to you. So when you play one, the one you played should be replaced, but the others remain. If they're the exact same every time, then we have another bug. And if all of your choices are kind of crappy, sadly, that's the way the cards bounce. All right, what's that smell? Pinball podcasts, Lynn in Denver. What's that smell? John Borg, Dr. Doobie. Buggers. Mike Roch, natural score enhancement. Lucas San Diego, dying. That's probably the worst smell. Mr. Pendragon, what's that smell? Teaching a robot to love. And
Nice.
that is our winner and rightfully deserved. Surreal, what's that smell? Farting and walking away. Yes, Gramps, it does boil down to luck of the draw, and that's why, for instance, I played that token minority card just to get it out of my hand because it's kind of a crap card and it won't exist in the deck after tonight. That smell can't be good. All right, next on ESPN2, the World Series of.
It's the World Series of winking at old people.
This is hard. I'm going to go with being a motherfucking sorcerer.
I'd
watch
that.
Isn't that cute? But it's wrong!
But it's wrong. I liked concealing a boner way better. I did too, Grummy, but I feel like concealing a boner can be played on other things. All right. Next on ESPN2, the World Series of steroid injections. Nice, Lynn. Gramps, the World Series of whipping it out. Dr. Doobie, the World Series of Bally's Judge Dredd. I'd watch most of these, honestly. The World Series of winking at old people. Mike Roch, the World Series of peeing a little bit. Luca, the World Series of a gentle caress of the inner thigh. Mr. Pendragon, World Series of TX Sector. And our winner, Grammy, World Series of alcoholism.
To alcohol!
the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
Grammy spoke to you. Is it the alcoholism?
Steroid is misspelled. Added to list. Have I been to the theater? Rift Theater? All right. What did I bring back from Mexico? I'm the card czar, so I get to see all of your terrible choices and judge them. I'll leave it up to you, Baked, if you want to give me a preview of your terrible choice.
I know, and not just on Friday either.
I mean, seeing me drinking every week. This is true. I do see you drink every week. Which reminds me, I need to be mindful of the time because I'm not missing Double Dragon tonight over at the Rift Theater.
I don't think anybody wants to miss that one.
And just hang out for a little bit. Oh no, what a bad
Are you
flip,
still
Manu.
trying to decide on the winner?
No, I was shouting out Manu and I got distracted. All right. What did I bring back from Mexico? Let's see. Fathom's Mermaid Lock, Indiana Jones, The Pinball Adventure, a windmill full of corpses, embryon covered in embryonic stem cells, preteens, The Walking Dead, Her Majesty Emoto, Fancy Feast, Bill Nye the Science Guy. This is hard. This is hard.
Those are tough choices.
I'm gonna
Should
go with
probably leave those preteens in Mexico, though.
that. Yeah, I'm not touching the preteens. You can clip that. I'm going with embryon covered in embryonic stem cells. Which was you.
It was. I appreciate
Lynn was the mermaid lock. Who was preteens? Mike Roch was preteens. Mr. Pendragon was Her Majesty Emoto. Nice. Next round. What's the most emo?
No, it's definitely Jack Danger's arms.
One with B's question mark. Hang on. For this answer, I need my glasses. I can't see without my glasses. I like Grammys. I am so winning this round. That gets me more excited.
I respect the confidence for sure.
All right. Who's the Lynn in Denver is the card czar. We'll have to see what Lynn picks. All right. Pinball Gramps. What's the most emo? Jurassic Park. Dr. Doobie. Hospice Care. Mike
Nice.
Roch. Seth Davis, current president of Stern. Luca, what's the most emo? Dwight Sullivan, fair. What's the most emo? An ice pick lobotomy, says Mr. Pendragon. The Eternal Gremmy, a mopey zoo lion. That's fair. I like that. And Surreal, what's the most emo? Losing to an 11-year-old. But Dr. Doobie takes it with Hospice Care, which is a fair win.
It's tough to beat.
All right, next round. The IFP has banned blank for giving players an unfair advantage. Hmm. I'm going with opposable thumbs.
I stuck with the pinball-related answer and said the IFPA has banned a lucky bounce off the slingshot for giving players an unfair advantage.
Imminent death wins in terms of emo. Yes, hospice care was a fair win. All right, Pinball Gramps is going to be our card czar to select the winners. So all we have to do is please Gramps. One says, I've done hospice visitation. It sucks. It most certainly does. So it's Friday night, and I told the kids they could stay up late. So I just set an alarm clock for 10 o'clock and said, when this goes off, it's time to go to bed. Does that make me the fun dad or a terrible parent?
Mixture of both.
Fair.
The fun parents are usually terrible sometimes, aren't they?
Did you leave them with beer? No, the beer is down here with me. Ooh. Gramps picked. All right. Lynn in Denver. The IFP has banned Mecca Steve Ritchie for giving players an unfair advantage. Dr. Doobie with the winner. The IFPA has banned a good sniff for giving players an unfair advantage. Has banned a lucky bounce off the slingshot. Has banned the rapture for giving players an unfair advantage. Yeah, that works. Has banned new age music. I can get behind that. Has banned a ball that teases you by going around the target. Has banned making a pouty face. Michael Jackson. Man, those were some hard ones to pick there. Those were all solid answers. Then you set an alarm for 4 a.m. My kids don't need help getting up. They're weird like that. My teenager will be up at 5:45 like clockwork. All right, next round. Instead of Netflix and chill, my ideal date involves blank and blank. Hmm. I went with secretly blaming the previous player for jinxing the machine and concealing a boner.
Oh, and instead of Netflix and chill, my ideal date involves an M. Night Shyamalan plot twist and amputees.
Oh. All right, Dr. Doobie is our card czar. Confident with this one. Gremmy's got the hope.
Partly, I think, depends on who the cards are and and what their sense of humor is on what your chances are.
100%. Mr. Pendragon, Manu is showing Double Dragon. When did Double Dragon come out? Was that like 93?
Something
92?
like that. Yeah, that's an old movie.
It's one of my favorites when I was a kid. I haven't watched it in decades. All right. Winner is me for concealing a boner. Excellent. Lynn in Denver, instead of Netflix and chill, my ideal date involves a sausage festival and the Hamburglar. My ideal date involves lap dogs and hot cheese.
Nice.
That was from Gramps. My ideal date involves M. Night Shyamalan plot twist and amputees. Mike Roch. My ideal date involves John Trudeau's browser history and silence.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah. Luca. My ideal date involves a can of whoop ass and a slap save. Mr. Pendragon, my ideal date involves a home video of Mark Ritchie sobbing into a lean cuisine and the guy who actually understands the rules. My ideal date involves binging and purging and crucifixion. My ideal date involves
nice.
Christopher Walken and a bop it. They
Those are
speak
tough
it about
choices.
the same. Yeah. Very tough choices. No, Gramps, that was well played. Mark Ritchie probably is the guy who understands the rules. So, no, Mr. Pendragon, I think that was fair. I don't see him crying into lean cuisine, but all right. Billy May is here for.
Do you think he enjoys a different kind of frozen dinner than lean cuisine, or is he a hungry man guy?
He strikes me as a hungry man guy. Most engineers are. This is a hard choice for me, but I am going with extremely tight pants. Billy May's here for extremely tight pants. Let's see who as our cards are. Really baked as the cards are, so hopefully my tight pants impress you. Give
They
up
do.
round.
Billy Mays is here for them too, just like I am.
Yep, Grimmy. I feel the card dump. But all right, here we go. Billy Mays here for cuddling in Denver. Here for Axe Body Spray, Pinball Gramps, Dr. Doobie, Lumberjack Fantasies, Mike Roch, Dusty Playfields. Huh, that's my porn name. Luca, Steve Ritchie's hearing aid, Mr. Pendragon, Kids with Ass Cancer, Grammy, Ghostbusters LE, and Surreal, Stern Pro Circuit. Ass
cancer is one of the worst.
Tenfold
In
when
this
it happens
case,
to kids.
ass cancer was the best.
Hey, I did put the caveat. This is a stream game for terrible people. All right. Dr. Doobie is reviewing results. There we go. Next round. How did I lose my ball? I'm going with Hot Nudge. Mostly because they coined the phrase truck nuts multi-ball on The Mandalorian. At least I'm pretty sure it was Hot Nudge that
I'm pretty
coined the
sure it
phrase
was too.
truck nuts multi-ball.
How did I lose my ball? Sexy side blades. Those damn
Ooh.
sexy side blades.
Quick round. All right. Lynn in Denver, erectile dysfunction. Pinball Gramps, dying of dysentery. Dr. Doobie, winner, vigorous jazz hands. Well played.
I like that.
Really baked. How did I lose my ball? Sexy side blades. Luca, vehicular manslaughter. Arthur Pendragon, switching to Geico. Gremmy, a spastic nerd. Surreal, getting naked and watching in disc.
I like that too.
I like that too.
Tough choices for the card czar.
Indubitably. All right. So ready.
How many
ready.
points you at now, Doc? I lost track if that was 3 or 4.
Good question.
There you
Creeping
go.
up toward 9 minutes of.
There's my feature suggestion is that we should have a scoreboard.
I agree. I intend to implement that. I had issues with screen real estate, so I need to think that. I'm hoping that if I can recruit someone to assist me with UI, that we can work through that.
Can you just put it as an extra screen between the rounds?
That's true. I could. Life for pinballers was forever changed when Stern introduced them to.
This was a good spot for me to use this card. Life for pinballers was forever changed when Stern introduced them to letting people believe you're rich when you're just fiscally irresponsible.
I'm going with sexual tension. What was the game played on Marty's stream? Quiplash, maybe?
Yeah, we've played quite a few different Jackbox games. That other weird one with the subtitled movie clips that I always forget the name of, but that is also really fun.
The party game. Well, it's Jackbox Party is the overarching, but then that's made up of a whole bunch of mini games. So Jackbox is the main. And that was part of my goal with this is I wanted kind of a Jackbox feel, but I also wanted it to be casual. So if we were doing something else, we could be doing this in the background. But I think I need to introduce some elements to speed it up. All right. Luca is our card czar. Do I let my kids play this filthy game? My soon-to-be 21-year-old next month, absolutely. In fact, he wrote some of these cards. My younger children, no, they do not know this exists. All right, Lynn in Denver. Life for pinballers was forever changed when Stern introduced them to a stray post on the playfield. Pinball Gramps the winner when Stern introduced them to the Amish. Dr. Doobie, Stern introduced them to My Inner Demons. Really big. Stern introduced them to letting people believe you're rich when you're just. I don't know why I keep reading yours. I just get in a rhythm. Mike Roch. Stern introduced them to a gumball machine full of pinballs. Mr. Pendragon, Stern introduced them to Iron Maiden Premium. A Gremmy, Stern introduced them to the smug satisfaction of beating someone who talked trash. Ooh, I think that's my favorite. Stern introduced them to getting really high.
I've lost count of how many times you've said my crotch tonight, but I really enjoy whoever made that their username.
Agreed, and I make it a point to read it every time. We're going to get our mileage out of that. My gut tells me it's Smedley. All right. What's the most embarrassing injury you can sustain while playing pinball? Let's see.
The most embarrassing injury you can sustain while playing pinball is blaming the machine for your terrible skills.
Fair. I'm most of my cards are throwaway in this scenario, but I think I'm going to go with authentic Mexican cuisine. The injuries that come after.
Mexican cuisine injuries certainly can be embarrassing.
All right. Lynn in Denver, a subscription to Stern Insider. That is an embarrassing injury. All right. Gramps, the penny whistle solo from My Heart Will Go On. Dr. Doobie,
I like
pooping
that.
back and forth forever. Mike Roch, a brain tumor. That would be quite the pinball game. Luca, the crushing realization that you peaked 3 games ago. And Gremmy, our winner, what's the most embarrassing injury you can sustain while playing pinball? An oversized captive ball.
Nice. I like that.
And Surreal with the Haggis Pinball Massacre. What's in the Stein tonight? There's a can of Diet Coke in the skull of my enemies. Not quite beer mode. All right, what don't you want to find in your Kung Pao chicken?
Count Chocula.
Puppies. Dublin Ben, yes, this is a 3D printed can holder. And
Just never stops with the Chinese food jokes, eh?
nope, I make a lot of Chinese food jokes when I shouldn't.
Or when you should. It's all about perspective.
It is all about perspective. Definitely going to hell with mine, is what Lynn says. Here we go. Lynn in Denver, what don't you find or don't want to find in your Kung Pao chicken? Lyman sheets.
Nice.
Gramps,
I'll see you there.
Surprise extra ball. Dr. Doobie, the Boy Scouts of America. Mike Roch, a tiny horse. Luca, burning pop bumper coils. Our winner, Mr. Pendragon, what don't you want to find in your Kung Pao chicken? Foreskin. It's a solid win.
True.
Surreal, what do you not want to find? Steve Ritchie.
A feline sensation, master of momentum, pure acceleration. And last but not least, little Luna, so white, silent and sneaky, moving out of sight.
Looks like Gramps and Mike Roch are still reviewing results.
My crotch always takes its time.
All right, here we go. Lifetime presents blank, the story of blank. Yep, I'm going to hell. I went Lifetime presents an M16 assault rifle, the story of some goddamn peace and quiet.
Nice. I went with Lifetime presents The Big Bang, the story of eating all of the cookies before the Pinball Museum bake sale.
Will it be enough to impress? Let's see. Surreal is our current card czar.
I dig that Cookie Monster. That's rad.
I am reminded why we got rid of the bigger, blacker box. Yes. For those that don't know, that is an actual expansion to this game. All right, here we go. Lynn in Denver presents, Lifetime presents The Terrorist, the story of poor people. Gramps Lifetime presents The Little Jackpot That Could, the story of trying to explain the rules of a complicated rule set like Bo and Karen's. Oompa Loompas, the story of Asher Lykoff. The Big Bang, the story of eating all the cookies before the Pinball Museum bake sale. Mike Roch, A Hot Mess, the story of Keanu Reeves.
Nice.
Luca, the angry old guy from League, the story of Gary Stern's acting career. Mr. Pendragon, Viagra, the story of a small victory dance after a lucky win. Grammy, our winner, presents Science, the story of Morgan Freeman's voice.
Nice.
Solid. We're at what, about 27 minutes until Rift Theater before we get to see some Double Dragon action. I think we're waiting on Dr. Doobie to rebel up. No worries, Surreal. If we have to wrap and start over with this many players and how I have it set up, I don't know how long it's going to take us to get to a winner, so I'm not going to be too terribly set up if we have to start over. But it hasn't crashed since we started game 3, so I'm good with that. All right. What never fails to liven up the party?
Taking off your shirt.
I'm the card czar, so I get to wait and see your choices. I think Mr. Pendragon or Grammy only need one more. I agree, Surreal. I know they're close, but I'm not positive. And I'm honestly afraid to scroll up in the terminal window and see if see what it breaks. All right, what never fails to liven up the party? The existential dread of a stuck ball, pixelated Deadpool animations, white people, taking off your shirt, hurricane, stormtroopers, the devil himself, Raptor, women in game wax commercials. Oh, this is a tough choice, but I'm feeling the existential dread of a stuck ball. Lynn in Denver is our winner. Nicely done, guys. Yes, I do believe it should stop at 5 and then prompt us for a new game. Well, when one person gets 5. Historians will remember this era for our advancements in blank and pinball. I'm going with pretending to know how to play Avengers Infinity Quest.
I went with Gottlieb's Robo War.
Lynn in Denver is our card czar this round. Wait, someone knows how to play Avengers IQ who isn't Keith Ellen? Exactly. That's why pretending how to know Avengers or how to play Avengers. Ah. All right. Gramps advances in getting married, not having a few kids, buying some pinballs, retiring to Florida, and dying. Dr. Doobie, Italian bottoms and pinball. Mike Roch, picking up girls at the pinball museum and pinball. Luca, advancements in pitches and pinball. Mr. Pendragon, yelling obscenities at a lifeless machine and pinball. Gremmy advances in medieval madness trolls and pinball. And our winner, Surreal, advances in poor life choices and pinball. Surreal, I know you're going to have to bounce in a minute. If you could just give me a thumbs up in chat, we'll keep playing and see what happens when you leave. But don't hesitate. If you got to go, we want you to be ready for Rift Theater because we want to see some Double Dragon. The newest Olympic sport should definitely be. I'm going with a middle-aged man buying his first pinball machine. Pinball Gramps is our card czar.
The newest Olympic sport should definitely be the unwavering belief that this Avengers game will be different.
This is going to be the one. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying this. I hope to improve upon this base. This is a first live test. Here we go. So, Lynn and Denver riding off into the sunset. Dr. Doobie, new sport should be active listening. Really baked, Olympic sport should definitely be the unwavering belief that this Avengers game will be different. Mike Roch, definitely be rehab. Luca, sport should be dry heaving. Mr. Pendragon, the newest Olympic sport should be feeding Gary Stern. That is a valid win. The Eternal Grammy, newest Olympic sport should be distant cries of aim for the magic trunk. And Surreal should definitely be the Chronic. Mr. Pendragon, you are our first winner. Congratulations.
That makes you the power top.
Yes, you are not the power bottom. And I need to have that shown better. But there you have it. We made it through a full game. It didn't crash, and Mr. Pendragon won. So something's either really right or really wrong with the universe, depending how the day goes. So,
like I said, it's all about perspective.
It's all about perspective. So here's my plan. Since we have 20 minutes until Rift Theater, see you in 20, Surreal. I'm going to fire up another game. We're not going to finish that game. We're going to play up until it's time to raid. And then we'll go watch some Double Dragon and get some rifts in. So I'm going to click Start New Game and see what... Actually, you know what? That was a bad idea. Cease, desist, because we had some people drop and it's going to expect them to be in the game. So I am going to hard crash it and start a new game. All right, new game is live. You can join us by. It's not on my clipboard anymore. I was going to say going to the link in chat. However, all right, if you'd like to join us, here we go. Keep in mind, we are not going to play to winner. We're just going to play until it's time to rate. All right, first round. What would Grandma find disturbing yet oddly charming? I am the cards.
Grandma would find disturbing yet oddly charming Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Ooh. Sorry. What would Grandma find disturbing yet oddly charming? Queefing. Glorious
That's
juicy whoppers.
nice.
A gentle caress of the inner thigh. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Trying to explain pinball strategy using only grunts and gestures. Gramps, you might have to clear out your browser ID. I'm going with queefing, by the way, if you didn't already know, which was Dr.
It's
Doobie.
hard not to.
So you might have to clear out your browser and then go back to the link in chat. If that doesn't get you in, I'm not sure. I will have to look at the error. I'm guessing it's because I killed the game and started a new one. My apologies. Oh, I'm sitting here waiting for the new round. It's live. All right, blank. It's a ball trap. I have some good options here. But I'm going with my sex life. It's a ball trap. Dr. Doobie is our card czar. Something tells me there's got to be some good choices there. I'm excited to see what Dr. Doobie picks.
I don't know. It's going to be tough to beat Grandma being charmed by queefing. I don't know.
It's true. All right, Mr. Pendragon, our winner. It's a blank. It's a ball trap. My erection that lasts longer than 4 hours. Drew P. Wiener. I just got that. I didn't get it until I read it out loud. The Great Depression. It's a ball trap. Really big. Secretly hoping the person next to you tilts. Grem. Exactly what you'd expect. It's a ball trap. Gramps. The inevitable heat death of the universe. All right, Mr. Pendragon is our card czar this round. Blank, kid tested, Jack Danger approved. Oh, I'm a terrible person, but I'm going with the Pope, kid tested, Jack Danger approved. right, Mr. Pendragon selecting winner. Something tells me these are going to be some hard choices too. This is a good card. All right. Dr. Doobie, a greasy joystick stained hand. Kid tested. Jack Danger approved. Droopy Wiener, a moment of pure unadulterated flipper wizardry. Kid tested. Jack Danger approved. Our winner, really baked, doing it one-handed. Kid tested. Jack Danger approved. Graham accidentally tilting by breaking wind. And Gramps unfathomable stupidity. Kid tested. Jack Danger approved. Next round. What do you want to find, or what don't you want to find in your Kung Pao chicken? Going with an M. Night Shyamalan plot twist myself.
What I don't want to find in my Kung Pao chicken is Christopher Walken.
Valid. Or his watch. Because it was in his ass. How did Oregon Trail get in Cards of Humanity? Well, I think they just ran out of ideas. All right, Dr. Doobie, the winner. What don't you want to find in your Kung Pao chicken? Fancy feast.
True.
Mr. Pendragon, Jack Danger's streaming setup. Graham Ghosts. Gramps, the entire Mormon Tabernacle Choir.
Sure is a lot of Jack Danger cards in here. Poor guy's getting roasted.
So I have a lot of Jack Danger, a lot of Mark and Steve Ritchie, a lot of Barry Ausler, and a lot of Todd Tuckey. And I'm always surprised that Todd Tuckey hasn't floated to the surface. I got 99 problems, but blank ain't one. I'm going with funky, fresh spinners. Ten minutes until we raid over to MPT3K. Oh, really baked as our cards are. Here we go. Dr. Doobie, I got 99 problems, but surprise extra ball ain't one. Todd Tuckey sending a pinball machine off a roof. Did that come through and I missed it? Winner, Mr. Pendragon, I got 99 problems, but dying of dysentery ain't one.
Had to give love to the Oregon Trail reference there.
Fair. Droopy Wiener, I got 99 problems, but fear itself ain't one. Grem, I got 99 problems, but not wearing pants ain't one. And Gramps, I got 99 problems, but the distinct aroma of arcade carpet ain't one. Those were some
that was a
solid
tough
plays. Yeah. 2 questions in a row with answers about dysentery. Yes, I have noticed that it is dealing the same card to multiple players. I got to figure that out. If you're not wearing pants, please do not stand up. What's the next superhero sidekick duo? Select 2 cards.
It's the Kool-Aid Man and Adderall. Kind of sad I wasted that Christopher Walken card now.
I went with Keith Elwin, The Art of Multipliers. All right, Dr. Doobie, what's the next superhero sidekick duo? Aaron Burr, sir. Preteens. Superhero sidekick duo, Keanu Reeves and Passive Aggression. I think they made 5 movies about that. Superhero sidekick duo, Death Ray and a Brain Tumor. Those go hand in hand. Really baked. The Kool-Aid Man and Adderall. The Make-A-Wish Foundation and the Rapture.
Nice.
I got distracted. Who was our winner for that?
It looks like I
It was
was.
you. You were our winner with the Kool-Aid Man and Adderall. Keanu Reeves and Passive Aggression is a solid choice.
I would have voted for Gramps, I think.
I never truly understood blank until I encountered blank.
I never truly understood the dance of the stuck ball until I encountered another goddamn music pinball table.
I never truly understood multiple stab wounds until I encountered secretly blaming the previous player for jinxing the machine. Six minutes until Rift Theater. And Pinball Gramps is our card czar.
Well, I'm pretty stoked we got a solid 2 hours out of this.
Yeah, me too. We played one game for at least 50 minutes, I believe. With this number of people, it takes quite a while to get to 5, which I don't think is a bad thing, but it's kind of hard to time either way. All right. Dr. Doobie, our winner. I never truly understood concealing a boner until I encountered the brief moment of zen during a multi-ball.
Nice. I like that.
Mr. Pendragon, I never truly understood crystal meth until I encountered a monkey smoking a cigar.
I also
Droopy,
like that.
Me too. Droopy Wiener, I never understood whipping it out until I encountered copping a feel. Really baked. The dance of the stuck ball until I encountered another goddamn music pinball table. And Grem, I never understood poorly timed plunger jokes until I encountered Randy Elwin.
And whoever was the card czar that round had it rough. Those were all really good.
Yeah. Next round. What will always get you laid? Oh, I'm the card czar. Man, I want to play this one.
I had several really good cards for that one. I couldn't decide.
All right. What will always get you laid? Being on fire, a surprisingly sensual nudge. Vuck me, vuck you. Jewish fraternities, $5 footlongs, sweaty action button. I'm going to go with vuck me, vuck you, but this was hard. All right. Droopy Wiener, vuck me, vuck you. You're a wiener. About 4 minutes left, and then we're going to raid over to MPT3K for some double dragon action. Tilt, what is it good for?
It's good for losing to an 11-year-old.
I went with trolls. Dr. Doobie is our card czar this round. All right. What is it good for? The unexpected joy of a mystery award before you tilt. Droopy Wiener, civilian casualties. Really Baked losing to an 11-year-old. Grem, a good sniff. Gramps, kamikaze pilots. And Baked was our winner for that round. I think we can get one more round in before it's time to raid. Maybe, if we're quick.
Manu talks for 20 minutes before he starts the movie anyway. We got plenty of time.
That's true, but I love coming in the intro and causing his CPU to rise.
That's true.
All right, Grim
That's
is
part of the magic of the theater, isn't it?
messing with his CPU. Pilots. All right, here we go. The new game, blank plus blank equals blank. Pick 3. Whoops. I went with Mr. Clean right behind you plus the Force equals Ronald Reagan.
I went with getting drunk on glass cleaner plus bells and chimes equals farting and walking away.
Who is our card czar? Mr. Pendragon is our card czar. And looks like Gramps is still picking his card, so he's probably got some hard choices there. It is also the 1, 2, 3, so depending on the size of his screen, it might take a minute. All right. It still says Gramps is selecting. Did we encounter another bug? I'll give it another minute, and then we're going to do a hot raid into Manu. But I would love to know the answer to this round. I won't let him select 3. So we found another bug that I'm going to have to look at. My apologies. This is where we're going to wrap tonight. I hope everybody had fun. I look forward to continuing to improve this.
I had fun.
Please send me or please post some suggestions in Discord, and I'll let you know the next time that we're gonna get together and play. All right. Apparently, I tried to raid an invalid username.
It is
there
tough
we go.
to type all 5 of those letters in the correct order. Oh, I guess there's a number in there.
Thank you, Shelly. Yes, this is a Borg Dog shirt. All right, guys, let's go see Manu and enjoy some Double Dragon. I hope everybody has a fabulous evening. I'll see you soon.